Welcome to the online devotional for First Church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm Jim Creel Jr., Associate Pastor. This week, I've had a number of discussions about Scripture and context, the importance of context in understanding Scripture. There's a whole host of verses which are often misinterpreted or misunderstood in the Bible, but one came to mind quickly, and that was Philippians 4:13. In the NIV, it reads like this: I can do all this through him who gives me strength. King James is more of I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Many people use that as their favorite verse, their go-to verse, and it's a beautiful verse. But if you read it in the context, and I'm only going to add the two prior verses, but consider the difference it makes in its meaning. I'm not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. Adding just those two verses drastically changes how you interpret verse 13. Consider the context when you read a passage. It's important to understand it clearly. I've heard it referred to as the 20-20 rule. 20 verses before, 20 verses after. And then you begin to have a better understanding of what that verse means. Probably a good idea to read the whole book. Maybe not the whole Bible, but if you're reading in John, read the full book of John. Consider to whom it was written, when it was written, and if there are circumstances surrounding it. Most of the letters that Paul wrote were written to the early church, to the believers. That's different than what is intended for unbelievers. Many of the recordings of what Jesus spoke to unbelievers. It's very different. And so it's important to understand that in looking at the Bible. But don't take my word for it. Read the book. This is your filter. Maybe you don't go to First Church. Whoever you are following, this is the filter through which you should listen to what they say. It's in your language. It's not just in one language. You can read it and take it to heart. It can become yours. The Bible changes when you read it as a single person, a married person, a parent, a grandparent, a widow. It also changes you in the process. We don't graduate from the Bible. It's a book, a document that we live in our entire lives. And so I suggest that you spend some time in it, reading, understand the full context. So if you benefit, you enjoy these devotionals, please like, share, repost, let others know about it. We'd also love to see you on Sunday at our traditional or contemporary services at 10 o'clock. On behalf of the social ministry team at First Church, we want to encourage you to follow Jesus and to share him with others.